All right. So we have Jen with us tonight, and Jen has been a client for a long time. And Jen came to us with headaches. And Jen, maybe you could just kind of tell people what your life was like when you started, or even before you started in my office.
My life was miserable. I just learned to live with all day, every day, chronic, miserable, encompassing headaches. It was just the degree as to how bad it was going to be that day. For me to not have a headache was what was abnormal. And then when it would hit, it was just, how bad is it going to be? Am I going to be down for 3 days? Am I going to end up in the emergency room again? Like, what is this? When is it going to end, and how is this going to end? And I had been
When
battling.
when did that all start? Were you like in high school when that all started, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It started with kind of like the traditional, teenage girl going through migraines. Let's throw some, Imitrex at her. And then it was just like every doctor was something else, just more medication and more medication and more medication. And then it was CTs and MRIs and more medication. And
Mm.
well, that should have worked, and that didn't. More medication. And by the time I got into my 20s, I mean, we were talking 10 years of just heavy sedatives, painkillers, preventative medications that just made me, I was a walking zombie. I don't remember the majority of high school, college. I just don't
Wow.
remember it.
Uh,
So, um, what else you want to know?
Yeah. So okay. So you heard about us. I think that we at that time we had like we were relatively new in practice, but I think we had a radio ad that was running. I think you
Yeah.
heard about
Um,
us.
I don't know if you want to call it divine intervention or what, but I happened to have the radio on at home that day, and what caught my attention, because I had tried chiropractic a few different times, two, three different chiropractors, and didn't work. And I caught this radio clip out of the corner, not really paying attention, and it's like, "Do you suffer from chronic headaches?" Go on. And this weirdo Andrew guy says, come by for this free seminar. Just let me uh it was a seminar or a talk, or
I don't even
I don't
remember at that time, to be
I don't
honest.
remember what it was. And I
It's
was
been a
like, oh
long
sure, I'll,
time.
I'll go see what this quack's got to offer. And so I did. And I thought, what, he's gonna be just like the rest, but I have nothing to lose. Well, he'll be just like the rest. And so I went. And you were the first person to look at me and not say, so tell me when this started, and start writing notes after notes. There was none of that. You were completely different. There was no white coat and files and charts and none of that. You sat me down and put your hands on my neck, and immediately you knew something was off. In 30 seconds, I was like, wow, this guy's different. And you kind of cocked your head and said, hold on, now relax. And the first time you popped me, now I had been adjusted, like I said, I'd been to numerous other chiropractors. But the first time you adjusted my neck, stars, lights, lightheaded, dizzy. And I'm like, I don't know what just happened, but something just happened.
Yeah.
And then you looked at me and said, I can't tell you that you're never going to have another headache, but I can tell you that I can help you. You were the only person out of the dozens of doctors that I had seen over years. I'd been to IUPUI and nerve blocks and burns and injections and all the crap. No one had ever said that to me, ever. It was, well, let's try this and take that. We'll try this. You were so confident. You could have been blowing smoke, but I believed it. and,
It's
and
funny.
I knew because that first that first adjustment, the way you treated me, the way you talked to me, and that first adjustment, I felt differently. I knew we were onto something. So I trusted you and I kept going back, and I've been going back every week, whether I need it or not. And sometimes I need it and I don't even know I need it until I get on that table, and then boom, 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 like, whoa. And the difference between the way I felt when I walked in and the way I feel when I walk out, and just lighter, more put together. I don't necessarily have the headache, but I know I was gonna if I'd skipped that day. It,
Right.
it was coming.
You've been too many of those in the past to know, like, this is on its way. It's brewing. It's
There are those days too. When I walk
yeah,
in, like, Andrew, fix it.
yeah, right.
And and I feel better before I even get back to the truck. It's
Yeah.
I Something happens immediately. Is the headache completely gone? No, but I feel different. It's working immediately,
And
and
you
that
don't,
was
so,
something.
I mean, I think you bring up a good point there. Like, not necessarily, there's no real headache adjustment, let's say, but it's all about keeping the body clean all the time, keeping the nervous system strong so the body can function like it should. So a lot of times people, like, they get this idea that, if I have to keep coming back forever, well, that's not really the point of it. The point of it is
Mhm,
you're constantly getting beat up by stress in your life, whether it be a chemical stress, an emotional stress, a physical stress, whatever it might be.
mhm.
Constantly you're having this like pounding that's happening on your life, and the stress and what it does to your body. So really it's about keeping the body, the spine specifically, fixing that problem in there and keeping it maintained. And so, a lot of times it's, people come and say, I have a headache, fix it. And it doesn't really fix like that, but it's about maintaining it and keeping regular. I mean, and that to me, from the chiropractic side, that's what makes the magic really happen.
And I think too, something that I'd never considered before was how much we live our life in this position between driving, typing, and so many of us have jobs that require that same position, and then you put it back where it goes. Oh, it feels so much better when it's back where it goes. And then
Right. Yeah.
so the rest of that day, then I work on my posture, but eventually I'm back down here again on my phone, whatever. Then I come see, put it back where it goes. Same thing. Or, the way we sit in a chair, my hips being misaligned can give me a headache. And I try to explain that to other people, and like, they look at me like, you're crazy. I go,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
go
Well,
see.
you've probably heard me say this a few times, but you're not deficient in Tylenol, and
Yeah, right.
that's the thing. I think a lot of people really, they say, well, I just take this or take that. But I said, well, it's not normal for you to get the headaches all the time. Like, it's just
Yeah.
not, it's common. I see a lot of it, but that doesn't mean it's normal. There's ways
And
that
eventually that doesn't work.
yeah,
Even you more, you need more and more and more, and then you take enough of that, then you have a whole new set of problems. Now I have acid reflux because I took all that medicine, or now
right.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
have
It
insomnia now.
happens. And I think the bottom line is we, we tend to do things that might be easy, but it doesn't get to the root of the problem a lot of times. We like to take the easy route, and that's not usually we got to get to the root of things or it doesn't really fix.
Uh-huh.
So, what would you tell people, like, if someone's like seeing this, they're like, man, I get headaches a lot, or I get headaches more often than I should. Like, what would you tell them?
I would say you have absolutely nothing to lose, and you may fix a few other problems along the way on accident, like sciatic nerve issues. We fixed that too, and I didn't even come see you for that. Um, and I wish we could all be a little more open minded with traditional medicine. Right now, we just want to throw drugs at everybody and send them on their way, and you're costing more money, doing more harm to your body. And I highly encourage a multiple what's what I'm looking for, multiple faceted therapies. Do I never take a Tylenol? Absolutely not. Do I never go to the doctor for an antibiotic? Absolutely not. Do I skip going to Andrew? Absolutely not. I do all of those things to keep myself in balance, but I would encourage people to keep an open mind. I
Yeah.
wish that I had found someone that operated like Andrew operates, probably not a good word, functioned like Andrew, treated like Andrew, um, years ago. And I think I would like to mention too how you do your setup. I can be in and out in 5 minutes. I can leave the kids in the car. I can leave the truck running and still see them and not have to worry about making the whole afternoon, taking an afternoon off work. I love your hours. It's so convenient and easy to be in and out and on my way and still be able to have a doctor's appointment once or twice a week. It's not a
Sure.
full commitment that just use the entire day or week. You go to
Right.
a regular doctor.
The 2 hour adventure.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
that
then
can be stressful.
you still gotta hit the pharmacy.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, Jen, I really super appreciate you coming on tonight and let people know that there's an answer, maybe it's an answer for them, and that's at least it gives them another avenue to explore versus being a zombie all the time. Cause that's,
Yeah.
being gone through that. And, I know, I grew up with a mother with lots of headaches, and it was just miserable to watch her like go to the hospital all the time and just, give her shots to help with the headache. And there were
Mhm.
points in time where they just throw her in a dark room and tell her to wait it out. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
good night. That's brutal. Like,
That's not an answer. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I'm
that's not getting you any closer to a healthy situation in that scenario. You're just covering up the pain all the time. And that doesn't really work long term. It's not a very good long-term answer. So
no,
yeah. Anyway,
that's no way. I am truly grateful for you, and if anyone had more questions or I could give more specifics, I would gladly um, share my story or answer any questions to help them.
that's awesome. Well, thank you for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon.
So, absolutely, I'll be there tomorrow.
All right.